I made a mistake on the third video when I was showing you my workaround for getting the repeat hoops with the alignment marks, and I discovered it when, just out of idle curiosity, I thought let me just bring that design back in and start lining them up as if I was doing repeat designs. And because I used the square, that's exactly what the program based its judgment on, and it put the final alignment mark in the wrong spot. So unfortunately we have to use the whole design, which is a bit of a pain in the posterior. Terrific headache, and I've nursed it all day and it's now bugging my right eye, so bear with me. Okay, select all group. There we go. So we've got to do it the painful way. And it's only painful because it uncombines everything. So I tell it, duplicate. Use my directional arrow keys and move the whole shebang over until I get my scallops at the bottom in the correct positions. The previous design finishes, and I'll show you what I mean by that. The repeat starts here, which means this wasn't allowed for because my square put the repeater starting over here. So now I have to duplicate that again because I need the 3 hoops. I need the starting hoop, I need the middle hoop, and I need the finishing hoop, because only one of those hoops gives me the alignment marks that I need to make a repeat border. So I'll move this over. It'll also give me an opportunity to show you what happens to the cutwork needle commands. Right, now let's just get this into position, back to the left a little, because I want a slight marrying of the stitches here and here. Okay, I've got my 170 by 200 hoop. If you're using a different machine, enter your machine up here, enter your hoop in there. That's vital, otherwise you don't get the right hoops. So I'm going to click on my combine, and we can see immediately it's not in the right places. So I add a hoop, and I use my left mouse directional arrow key again, and I move it until the design sits quite nicely in the middle. The center crosshairs sit a little bit further over, so there, like that. Okay, so now we've got 2, so we need another one because we need that middle hoop, and we move that one over, and I need to get my crosshairs around about where I've got the others. Actually, the second one is a little bit far over. I need to move that further back in. That's not quite far enough over, so I need to nudge it. What I'm doing is I'm matching to that center point in that first hoop. Can you see how it just kisses the bottom, and there's a minute amount of air between the stitch and the vertical crosshair. Now I'm going to highlight the blue hoop a little bit closer. That's about right. So now I come out of combine, because they're all combined now, all sitting there looking pretty. And if I go into File, Print Preview, it's going to take a moment because it's got an awful lot to record. If you remember, I grouped all the cut work in this first design. Now we've got 10 pages. Okay, page 1, page 2, those are all our hoopings. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, 6 and 2 little teeny bits. 6 pages of needle changes. And we don't want that. In fact, that's the last thing we want. Okay, now I have tried using the splitting tool to separate these up into their correct hoopings, and it doesn't want to play ball. So I'm going to close this for a minute, and I'm going to go into the first group, and I'm going to change that all to deep burgundy. Okay, that belongs in the first group. Now I'm going to go to the second group. I'm going to leave the second group as is. We'll go to the third group. I'm going to change that to a colour that isn't in the cutwork needles, and we'll make that sunflower. There we go. So we get a clear delineation of what's in each hoop. In the red hoop, sounds like the red corner, doesn't it, in a boxing match? I'm going to tell that File, Save As, Multi-Hoop. And I want to save it as a JPX now, can I stress this? If you own the 9000, the 12,000 or the 15,000, use the JPX format. Don't use the JEF format. Save. Now, it's put these into this hoop, number 1. Of course, that's not what we want. But the only thing I'm interested in is what's inside of number 2. And what's inside of number 2 are these. So I'm going to say Save Selected. The selected hooping file was saved. Okay, it's thinking about it. It's done. Now I can close this. Right, now I'm going to tell all this. This one, delete. This one, delete. Go into Combine, click on my red hoop, tell that, get rid of it. Click on my blue hoop, tell that, go away. Then come out of Combine, and I'm back in here, and I'm going to click on that, Edit, Ungroup. Thank you. First design is still combined. That's important. So I highlight the top one, hold down Shift, come down to the bottom cut design, and I'm going to change that back to silvery grey. And I'll leave these bits, the embroidery bits, in maroon, because it really doesn't make any difference to me. Okay, now I'm going to open my JPX. Look for my multi-hoop, open it. Click on that one, hold down Shift, come all the way down to that one, and say, ta-ta, it's gone. Go to File, Save As, Alignment Marks. It's going to tell me I've already got it. Do I want to override it, or overwrite it rather? Delete the Jan bit. Get rid of that. Tell that Save. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay. Now I can close this one. I come back to this. I tell it Embroidery, Insert Design, 170 by 200. Open. There it is now, in the position I want it in. So I am now going to Edit, select all, edit, duplicate, and I'm going to move the duplicate until my alignment marks sit on top of one another. A bit too far over, bring them back so as they match exactly, and there you have it. Hide the hoop, and there is the design perfectly aligned. Using the Use Alignment Marks on Output, and that's to show you that it works. So now I'm going to tell it Undo. Bring back my hoop, green, hold down Shift, whack it to the top. File. It's still seeing 2. There aren't 2 designs. What we don't want is the whole thing running through twice. This was going to be a quick video. Notice that nothing ever happens quick for me. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's ungrouped. Hold down Shift, come down to there, combine, File, Print Preview, one set. Thank goodness for that. First set of alignment marks, second set of alignment marks. Let's tell that close. Double check that all of these are still combined. In the multi-hooping, I must have affected more of my cuts than I thought. I thought it only ungrouped the second and third hooping. It didn't. It ungrouped some of these, as you saw. It did this one, and I believe it did that one, and it started doing one of these, which was totally out of sequence anyway. So now, save as. I'm going to have to go in and get rid of all these. Delete. Get rid of that bit. Save. File. Save as. Now, remember, if you have 9900, 12,000, 15,000, use the JPX format. If you have any of the other machines, use the JEF format. Right. Now I'm going to save it as a JEF. If you've got this one, you're going to have to do the alignment marks using that hoop and save as a JEF. So that's your 10,000, 97, so and so, so and so. You have to do your alignment hoop based on this hoop. Doesn't give you an awful lot of room, but it can be done. And I want the 99,000. There you go. Now you can do that for whatever machine you've got. Just remember to use the correct hoop and to save the correct hoop number when you do the combine. You want hoop number 2 because that's got the start and the end alignment marks. Oh, my head is now pounding so badly I have to stop here.